Hello, welcome to episode 17, and today I'm going to do something completely different. My nickel is done running, coming up. I now have everything but crystal that I want out of this room. So I got one smelter for each type of ore. That's a great place to start, though later I will definitely want more. I also finished up the room for research. You know, the usual, just a giant room. I did want to give a couple tips on when you close up a room. So you use the generic room controller. You just kind of plop it down, right? However, one issue I was running into is when I worked on this out there, I had actually not put that floor, that piece of block right there. So I had a wall and I had a floor, but then I had a line of empty air at the bottom of the wall. So from inside it wasn't visible, but my rooms wouldn't close. And for a minute I couldn't figure out how. So make sure you're getting that extra little bit outside of the room. It's necessary to actually close up the room. And the second thing is I have this nice big bunch of coal in the middle of the room. So if I plop down my generic room controller right here, I mean, in a room, in most rooms, the room controller can go anywhere in the room. However, when you have ore like this, or basically a piece of the world, it's going to draw out in 4 directions. So probably drawing out in this direction, it's fine. It hits a wall, and then it looks everywhere to the left, and it looks everywhere to the right, and it's a consecutive wall. But it goes out in this direction, and it hits coal. So it says, this is a wall. It thinks the coal is a wall, and it goes out to the right, and it finds an empty block before it reaches the other wall, which means that it thinks your room is broken. And the fix for this is if you are putting some sort of like smaller wall inside your room, or you already have some ore in there or something, is just make sure you put your room controller somewhere where it won't hit that in all 4 directions. So now it's drawing a line over to that wall, and everything in the way is actually machinery. So it ignores that, and then it hits a wall. It runs along the wall, and the wall is solid, so it says, hey, this is a good room. And my room is made. So just a quick tip there. Today, I want to set up cutter heads. So I'm going to need a cutter head for crystal. I'm going to need crystal for a lot of the things I want to do going forward. I still want to set up that mass storage construction area, but that can wait a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and work on the cutter heads today. First step is I know I'm going to need steel. Steel is going to come from a steel alloy smelter, so let me research that. I'm also going to want... What do I want? So I don't need dual, do I? No, I just need a matter mover. I've never used the matter movers before. I used to do this the Falcor way only, but that's kind of like harder now, so... I am, however, going to use the Logistics Falcor. I know that to make the Logistics Falcor, I'm going to need the Step 1 Falcor. And I believe I also need like auto upgraders, something like that. I'm going to need the steel cutter head. And I'm sure I'll be right back over here, but yeah, it's auto upgraders that I need for logistics hoppers, or for logistics falcors. Oh hey, I already have the plasma head charger. I think I might try to get this working. Go ahead and do plasma imbued cutter heads. It takes a lot of power, and right now I don't have jet turbines yet. I haven't gone all the way down to the toxic caverns, so I might be getting a bit ahead of myself, but I can always have it limping along with a little coal at first. I don't think I needed anything else from the list. Probably. I guess we'll find out. Maybe I should set up teleporters soon, but that's for next time. Oh, and I'm gonna need a manufacturing plant. Of course I saw that just as I was closing it. I'm going to need manufacturing plant, and actually, I'm probably going to need tubes very soon. So as soon as transport pipes, excuse me, as soon as I get down in the cold caverns, I'm going to want those transport pipes. So the first thing I grabbed there was the steel alloy smelter. This is kind of straightforward. It's basically making us a new type of material, that's steel bars.
Crafting.
I'm going to take one smelter. I know this takes a lot of power.
Crafting.
So I got plenty of those. I don't have enough storage hoppers. I could use some of the little blue ones. I'm out of 10 bars of all things. So over here, everything is kind of happily running along. If you'll see here, my research that uses iron, the iron is completely full. That's great news. Let me grab my tin. Okay. Yeah, I carry around 103 tin. I'll need that momentarily. I'm going to stick the steel bar maker in here, and then figure it out the power downstairs. So let me put in a energy grommet here. And I'm gonna need a zipper merge, aren't I? Anyway, decisions. First off, let's plunk down my steel alloy smelter. Yeah, it requires 50 power per second. That's a fair amount. I'm going to let this one kind of... So I'm going to want to let it fill up out here with 100. I wouldn't mind having 200 steel. Nah. We'll do a small storage hopper, add only. And we'll do a small storage hopper, remove only. And we're going to need a zipper merge. Because I guess I should mention, the steel alloy, or the steel bars, call for 1 iron and 1 nickel per. Most of the time, when you're manufacturing like that, I have 2 options. I could stick 2 little storage hoppers beside it, fill one of them up with iron, fill the other one up with nickel. Or I could use a zipper merge so that it grabs one, then grabs the other, then grabs one, then grabs the other. And here it's not that important which I go with. There's plenty of room, but later you're going to start running into... I have not even researched zipper merges. I hope they're an option. Yeah, right there, zipper merge. On this one, it doesn't matter very much. It's just 2 materials. Oh, wow, 25 conveyor belts. I need to start making more conveyor belts, too. Let's see. Use up all my tin again already. Copper. With only 2 materials, and they're not really very precious materials, we got plenty of the bars. I don't think it matters very much on this one, but it's a good habit to get in. Later, there will definitely be times where I'm putting in something that was quite expensive to make, and I don't want to overfill it, or I have something that's a lot more plentiful, and I don't really want to kind of get ahead on the one that is more plentiful, waiting for the one that's less plentiful. Or sometimes you'll start having like more than 2 materials, obviously. You'll have more than 3 materials, and you would never want to, for example, not use the zipper merge and just dump iron and nickel into one storage hopper, because definitely what'll happen is it will fill with iron or it will fill with nickel, and you won't have the materials you need to make one, and the whole thing will get gummed up. I'm sure that was completely obvious to everyone here, but just in case. Okay, we're gonna need logistics, grommets. Wrong. I've messed up my wall over here. set up my stations. If I can set up the station without just jumping a bunch of things on the floor. That's gonna be hard. I just built something and it did not go. Just a second. If I go down under, am I going to find a station sticking out into the ground? No, it's on the ground. I knew I built something, I just couldn't see it. Alright, let me try to go get the other station in place. And this can start bringing me my bars. There we go. I'll do big storage hoppers. It doesn't matter where I put these, so let's just do iron bar first. I'll do 3 carts for now. Nickel bars over here. The freight carts are kind of choking a little bit on having new stations in the way, but they think about it for a minute and then they figure out what they were doing and they're fine. They find themselves a new route or whatever they have to do. Just fine. This is all ready except for my power. Power is going to be a thing. A whole thing. So I need a battery there, and I'm going to do the exact same thing as I did over there, because I know it requires a lot of power. This isn't like a little 12, or 2, or 5 power per second sort of thing. I need that. And the easiest way, actually, you know what? Let's go through there. Yeah, so everything down here always looks ridiculous. This is like the spaghetti room. Whenever the room, which is under a room, and all it does is power, it starts to look ridiculous. Alright. In theory, that should be my steel bars. Maybe not quite done, but on the way. We've got power. Alright, let's ignore that for a minute and see what we come up with. Whoa. Okay, I built the steel bar manufacturing here because I know that I'm going to need steel bars for all kinds of things. So I want it to kind of inject into my system, and I should probably run the system by these sometime soon. However, typically, or I was going to say, however, another way I could have done this when I know that I'm just supplying cutter heads is I could have stuck the smelter over with the rest of the system where I'm creating the cutter heads. That is another option. I'm going to want to create the cutter heads. Ultimately, at some point, maybe not this episode, but soon, I'm going to want to just run cutter heads down beside my power. Using matter movers, which will happen inside this room. I wish I'd left myself a little more room in here. However, this might be an okay place to make cutter heads, right? What am I going to need for cutter heads? So first off, I know that I need a manufacturing plant. The pretty little manufacturing plant over here that is sticking on your central power hub. You can always make one for yourself and carry it around, and you can also, and will, make one and then, I wonder where it is, and then put it places and you can automate using it. So I did just research this, correct? Automation. Maybe here. There we go. Manufacturing plant. I'm running out of machine housings. Probably should have grabbed more tin while I was over there. 99 machine housings. That's a lot. Okay, I'm happy. So the nice thing about this setup with the freight carts, and we're seeing it there, is I haven't been running over and adding tin for a couple hours. And it's been this long since I've needed lightweight machine housing, and when I needed it, I had 99 of them. And once I upgrade the freight cart system further and get things a little more efficient, that will only improve. And so generally, once on this freight cart system, if I run out of something, I'm going to have to wait a while or like manually mess with it to get what I need. But most of the time, it's just making things in the background, and I never run out of things. So that is why I like this. Okay, I made myself a manufacturing plant. And I'm going to want to plop that there plant down somewhere. I'm really curious. I can just look on this one. What goes into the steel cutter head? Steel cutter head requires iron gear, low-grade steel bar, and charged lithium coils. So I'm going to need 3 different things coming in, and looking at those ratios, I'm probably just going to want to do a zipper merge on iron gear and charged lithium coil, and then how many ever steel bars I want to bring over. So I think I'm going to stick this all the way at the end of that room. Or I could stick this somewhere else. For example, I could stick it in this room. It is going to need power. And then transport the steel cutter heads over here. I could do steel cutter heads here and coal here, power them, and stick them right into the theoretical matter movers. Okay, we're going to do that. Which means probably right about here, I want another power grommet. And on top of that, we're going to do our manufacturing plant. I'm going to want to keep this tin steel bar. Yeah, tin, tin, tin. So this is add only, remove only, remove only. I don't really want to make 100 of them either. So, yeah, I'm just going to do tin over here. And I'm going to need another zipper merge. I think I figured... Oh, that's a problem. You can't stick a station where we have a merge like this. I could move it up by 1. Yes. Or actually, I could stick a station here and then just go up and over. Okay, we're good. Let me check on those conveyor belts. They're coming along. Zipper merge.
Crafting.
What else was I really needing? I think I'm out of tin again. Yeah, I got 6 left. We're fine. Got 4 of these. Just need the zipper merge, hopefully. Maybe. I might be back any second now. And I'm definitely going to have to... this one? I'm going to have to run a line, a railroad line down this side to start being able to pick up some of these items as needed. I guess I should decide how long this room is going to be. I feel like it could be a lot longer than this. I'm sure going to have plenty more to put in it. There that goes. I'm wasting so much construction paste because I didn't build this exactly how I needed it earlier. But also, if you wait around trying to exactly count things and anticipate everything you'll need, that is its own form of delay. So, I don't know. I pretty much always make the wrong decision on that. I'm gonna do like that, and then... Okay. 4? Yeah. So I can do a small storage hopper for the delivery on these items, but if I do, when I upgrade the mine carts, they're not going to be able to drop off a full load at once. So I think I might want to just do the big storage hopper, but then only have one little guy freight cart running for that line. So this. Have I gotten any steel created yet? No, not really. I have plenty of iron. I got 3 carts heading over for nickel bars. Oh, no, I've made 15 of them. I'm doing very well. And then one more line here. This one needs to be those steel bars. Because, oh. Let me add stations. Oh, everybody's gonna freak out on me. I mean, it's not the end of the world if I derail something. The stuff just ends up in my inventory and everybody compensates. But, I mean, it was halfway to its destination. I just ruined that freight cart's day. There we go. Yeah, okay. We need... Before I forget, because I always forget, let's configure what this is making. This is making a steel cutter head. Over here, in the area where normally if I had the materials I would click craft, down at the bottom it says start automation. You click start automation. You can make 999 of them. I don't really want this to ever stop. I haven't... There used to be like a repeat. Yeah, here's repeat. It doesn't seem to work. I didn't quite figure out how to do this. So I'm just going to leave this creating 999 of them. Automation is started, so as soon as I have power and materials, it should be cranking them out. Yes, I needed dark steel bars up here. So I'm going to create a new network, which I call... Actually, I usually stick steel under bars, because if I don't, I can never find it. Steel, low-grade steel bars. Technically, they're steel bars. Done. Add a cart. I'm going to need iron gears, though, and that is a new network called components. Set freight, iron gear, target stock 100. I'm going to do 2 carts for this. And then what was the last thing? Charged lithium coils. Again, that'll go under components. Set freight to be charged lithium coils. Increase stock. I will also have 2 going there. So if I'm doing 2 there, might as well do 2 here. Next, right now, if those components were available on the network, this would be all set. It could go pick them up. However, as I think you've noticed, they're not available on the network. I never did finish building out this side, or the side behind the building over there. So I need to decide. Probably I'm going to loop around the front right here. That looks good to me. And I'll add a junction. Most of my life is spent trying to figure out which hotbar I stuck things under. I really need to get a firm system and just memorize which function key, because You can get to your different hotbars two ways. You can either scroll up on your middle mouse button, or you can press a function key. And I do press the function keys. I just end up pressing all of them because I don't remember where I'm going. That was not it. Not it. And this and this. There we go. I really need to check into that improved auto build mod, because if it fixes my issues with auto building tracks, that would be amazing. And then all along here, I do want freight car stations. I'm out of freight car stations. That's pretty tragic. I almost made it to where I needed to go, but no. Cart stations. Go for 25 of them. Okay, awesome. Now, so once I decide how long this building is going to be, I'll loop it around and connect in somewhere over there on the other end. But this is what I needed for now. I want to make charged lithium coils available, so I'm using the components network. Charged lithium coils. Target stock is 0, so anybody who wants to steal these may. Titanium housing, etc. I'll do that off camera. You don't have to watch me do every one of these. And I also want to do that for low-grade steel bars. Target stock 0. Don't need to add carts on this side. And whatever I'm making here, I also want to make available. So this was called steel cutter heads. Components? We'll call them components. Target stock 0. Don't add any carts on this side. How high did this get, by the way? We're at 30. So we have 3 little carts plugging away, gathering up nickel. Eventually that'll fill up and be all set. Over here, I had decided I want to go wild and crazy and set up the plasma cutter head this time. Don't think I actually made that. Maybe I should wait to see the materials before I make grand claims. And I can go either way on plasma cutter heads. They give an amazing boost in the amount of ore you get, but they're also kind of a pain for how you have to replace your cutter heads constantly. Absolutely, I would not try to do plasma cutter heads if I wasn't planning to automate getting the cutter heads down to things, but I am going to be automating that. So I just stole all the steel bars. So in a minute I'm going to be complaining about how slow those are, and there's only myself to blame. Plasma cutter head, plasma head charger. Making it was no problem. Let's stick this over on 0. I'm not gonna build a power room under this. I mean, look, it'd be a little late for that. Let's decide. Actually, it might work really... no, it wouldn't work that well. Okay. Let's do... right here. And then... remove only. Add only. I wonder if that's even necessary. Yeah, this calls for 840 power per second. That's a lot of power. I'm gonna want logistics. A full thing of coal, but a small thing of cutter heads. A couple of stations. Well, I can let them pass, I guess. Fuel, coal, enriched coal, the best kind of coal. No, not really, there's a better one. I just like to complement my materials as I set them up. It's good luck. Bars, components. I want to bring steel cutter hoods over here. Target stock. So if I set my target stock to 100 beside a storage hopper that can only hold 10, I would have that problem again where, you know, I would get, maybe I assign 2 mining carts, freight carts to this station. Those 2 would come over here and sit here trying to drop off. And then the next time I reloaded my game, they would be stuck there, but then 2 more would join the party until eventually you have like 50 freight carts sitting in one spot, all trying to drop off the same thing to the same full station. So I have to make sure my target stock is only 10 as well. So I'm going to hit Shift key and hit increase stock. And there you go, target stock of 10 on steel cutter heads. I'm just gonna do 1. I'll do 2 carts for now. I'll probably have to reduce that to 1, we'll see. And then both of these need to come back in here. I hope neither of those are gonna transfer. I think maybe coal's gonna transfer. New plan. I'm using a directional storage hopper, and I have to configure it again. Whenever you take away the storage hopper, it loses its settings a bit. That can come in, and this I actually want to climb. There we go. This is going to be plasma cutter heads soon. And that seems like a good spot to end the episode. I will stand around a bit and make sure I didn't miss something. Watch stuff get delivered. So hey, my lithium coils got delivered. That's pretty thrilling. Maybe I could also just manually dump in these extra... That's asking for iron gears. That's asking for low-grade steel bars. There we go. I need to get the iron gears set up, which the iron gears were being made over here in the unpowered component house. So let me run track along the back side here, set up my stations. I will also run around setting up my stations on the back of the powered component house. And let everything run for a minute. Let those plasma cutter heads, let my first one at least get created, and then I'll celebrate and feel proud of myself. And then for next episode, I'll be back in episode 18, and I can just grab a plasma cutter head to go down and run up crystal, start running that up. But also, I'm going to want to set up matter movers to move the heads down, and probably logistic falcors to send them out from where they gather up near the shaft. So I've never used the matter movers before, oddly. The last time I played, logistics falcors were the best way to do this. Not anymore. Those got nerfed a bit. They're still pretty amazing, but just a little nerfed. I will have fun with that and see everybody next time.